What I love about that is that you all don't gatekeep. You all the same way that y'all got me is the way that you train us to get other people, like to stay on them, to the programs that y'all are. And it's like you don't have to go and hire a coach because I already have coaches that it comes with the package. Like you all are always there, one call away, like literally. So I mean, it's great. The training is immaculate. I really couldn't ask for anything more.
Welcome to the Service Bureau Accelerator podcast, where we help tax professionals start and scale a successful service bureau.
All right, welcome. We are here with another Service Bureau Accelerator interview series. I am here with Laquesha and Ross. Ross, if you want to go ahead and kick it off.
Yeah, so Laquesha, welcome. Hello. Thanks for jumping in. How you doing?
I'm great,
Very
and
good.
you?
Very good. Very good. Awesome. Thanks for jumping in. So, for these calls, we always like to hear from our members, their experience with Service Bureau Accelerator and everything like that. But maybe you want to kick it off for the audience listening. Maybe just share a little bit of your background, introduce yourself, share your experience in the industry and how you ended up jumping in with SBA.
Well, I've been doing taxes since 2009. I had my started my tax business in 2009, and just a preparer. And I guess around 24, 5, maybe around 2020, I started wanting to build a team, build a team of tax preparers under me. So I kind of got with, I think it was Crosslink. I got Crosslink, and I was always with Drake. I was a Drake customer. I had Drake for
You're
the
drinking that
entirety,
Kool-Aid.
yeah, from 2009 all the way up into 2020. And so I got Crosslink, and no, I got with Drake, and I started having a team under me. But I spent so much money because with Drake, they don't have it to where you can have people under you and they have access to it. You have to buy like get the name of it, but you have to pay an extra. You have to buy the software for like 1,500, then you have to pay an extra amount for people to have access to it, right? So I spent a lot of money, so I started searching for other software. So that's when I got with Crosslink to continue building my team. And then I found somehow I stumbled up on SBA. I actually stumbled up on SBA before I got with Crosslink, but I didn't jump on the call. Then the next year I did, and man, after that I was like, dang, I wish I would have found you guys so much sooner. I feel like I would have been so much further. But yeah.
Very, very famous words by a lot of our members. Like, I wish it
Yeah,
was
like,
sooner.
man, I should have took that call when I missed the meeting. The next year I took the call, I got in with SBA, and I've been with you guys. I think this will be my 4th tax season.
I think it's third
Yeah,
coming
my
up. I think
3rd.
we
This
just
is my 3rd tax
third
season,
coming
yeah.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, so you were kind of building your team, hitting a bit of bottlenecks just with being able to scale it, right? With the fees and everything like that. Was that something that you were always wanting to do, like
Kinda breaking up.
recruit?
Tell me again? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no worries. I'll repeat. I was just curious, so what was really the major deciding factor that ultimately led you to being a service bureau? It sounded like you were kind of already wanting to grow a team. And then was it just kind of like the perfect fit where you could have the licenses and you can continue to do what you're doing? Like what was the decision to ultimately make you jump in with Service Bureau Accelerator?
Because when you have teams working under you, basically they're using your EFIN, right? So I wanted to be able to resell software to where I could have EROs under me and they could use their own EFIN. And so that's what kind of when I took the call, I'm like, man, this is the perfect thing. So because I was able to sell the software and still, so my team that I had under me, I initially started gradually giving them the opportunity to grow their own team to start, getting software, getting their own EFIN and getting software. And that way, so now where I am now, I'm winging myself out of being in the office to where I could just, sell software.
Yeah. Support your EROs and sell
Yeah.
software. Yeah. Yeah. So it was just like the perfect fit because you were already kind of building a team. You're like, well, now I can actually get them to become their own become an ERO and provide them with software. So it was just exactly what you're looking to do. Yeah, perfect.
Yes,
So I know
exactly.
there's a lot of people out there that are trying to do that. We hear a lot like people trying to like franchise their business, right? And it's like being a service bureau is the best path to be able to do that. Kind of similar to how you're growing a team and want want to do that as well. So awesome. What is that? Have you kind of continued along with that strategy, like for growing your service bureau? Because you just about doubled last season, right, compared to the previous year. What was kind of the strategy for growing that volume? Was it kind of recruiting more preparers? Did you go after more EROs? What did that look like for you?
Well, I added 2, maybe 3 EROs that wasn't a part of my team initially, but basically it's like transitioning them from a PTN holder to getting their own EFN and then purchasing software. So I kinda started with then. Now I'm starting to, like, try to recruit more people that's outside of my group, but basically I'm trying to get more of my people to go out on their own, but not like because everybody don't wanna have their own EFN. Some people are okay like that, but my goal is to get out of the office, let the office run itself and kind of like pour into the people. And then, once the tax season start, I could just be their support while they, help the people do taxes.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. No, it's solid. Oh, looking at our program, like you've been in, so I guess you joined in 23, so that was before we rolled out the 7-day launch, right? So you kind of saw that shift a little bit.
Yeah.
What's been your experience going through our training that we have with Service Bureau Accelerator, just kind of like learning how we talk about making offers and marketing and all that kind of stuff? What's coaching calls as well?
What I love about that is that you all don't gatekeep. You all, the same way that y'all got me is the way that you train us to get other people, like to stay on them, to the programs that y'all are, and it's like you don't have to go and hire a coach because I already have coaches that it comes with the package. Like you all are always there, one call away, like literally. So I mean, it's great. The training is immaculate. I really couldn't ask for anything more.
Awesome, awesome. And
Really
then
feel like I haven't taken full advantage of it though, because like I say, I'm part way still in the office and then
yeah,
part way, but you know.
well, you got some. Hopefully, you got some time now over the summer, right? To just to
Yeah,
go back through all the training.
yeah,
That's always something, right? It's just kind of going through, and even if you've watched the training, if you've gone through the training before, like you can always go through it again, and there's going to be tons of more stuff that you're going to learn and hear different things and understand other concepts that maybe you missed the first time through. So yeah, awesome, awesome. Cool. So training, coach calls, talked about that. As far as support goes, that's another thing that comes up a lot when we're talking with the EROs, where they're like in the peak of the tax season and they need help, and they reach out to their software provider and they don't get any. It's hard to get support when they need it. Do you want to talk a little bit on your experience? And I don't mean like the tech support in the software, but I mean your direct support with us with Service Bureau Accelerator and our ticketing platform. What's that been like for you? Have you been leveraging that a lot? Any feedback on like the support team?
yes, I use it a lot.
I can
I
vouch
always
for I can vouch for
I always
seeing
I
quite a
always
few tickets.
I always preface those questions and I look over at Ball Deep and he's just like gritting. It's like, okay, he's got some insight on your use of the support system.
Yeah, like I really do use the tickets. I had a ERO that was like I already had signed up with somebody. She'd already came on with them and she'd already did a banking product and whatever, and I talked her into giving me a shot, and I put in a ticket, and it was no problem for you guys to like get everything reversed to get her under me. I think within a couple of days. So the support is great.
Yeah,
I,
so kind of piggybacking on that, a lot of people overlook this, and it's hard to quote unquote promote. But in a lot of, I think I remember like they're already enrolled, so it was rejected, this and that and that. There's a lot of little steps that need to happen to get something like that resolved. The problem is if you don't know what to do or what to say or how to say the thing needs to accomplish to the bank so it makes sense to them, that's where shit kind of gets lost and people get frustrated. So like in those scenarios when you say, "Hey, this is what I'm trying to do," we already know, okay, this is what's happening. This is how we need to present it so that we can get the resolution that we need for our members. This is a little bit of insight for the millions watching at home. Just knowing what to ask or how to ask it or how to present it to the right people. The other problem is I'm not going to make this call about talking negatively about the banks is, but when you call up their standard bank support, the person answering the phone is very seasonal. They don't really know how a lot of this stuff works, and it ends up being really frustrating, which is why 2 years ago, I believe, we ended up taking the majority of bank support over internally. just because of little situations like that. So it's not like, oh, reach out to the bank and they'll help you. And then the person that's on the phone just is their first season and they don't know what a service bureau is or how anything works. So
The funny story on that too is that when that first came up, I was jumping in and kind of assisting with support a little bit too, and I was like, well, this is, like we're the software provider, right? We're like the service bureau. Like, well, we don't really have a whole lot to do with the banks as far as like our control or authority. Like they're a completely separate entity. And I was like, well, why are we handling all this stuff? We should just like kick them over to the banks. That's the bank's job to do that. And Baldeep's like, no, you don't understand the the way that we need to ask questions, the way that we need to present the information. We can just take it on ourselves and we can get things done way faster. And so, sure enough, I was like, once I started seeing it, I was like, okay, yeah, that's
I
100%
think
true.
that specific example was like, the time of year we don't really deal with it. Like, but you'll deal with it more. Laquesha is like your EROs asking for loans, and maybe you for your office asking for loans. And we're also like, well, why are we dealing with the ERO loans? Like that should be for the bank and thing. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But then it just causes a frustrating experience. Here's why. Let's just get the information we need because we know what they're going to ask for. Let's just get it and present it
Yeah.
and get it done. Right. And that's kind of the philosophy we took over and just taking over bank support internally as much as possible. Right. There's some things that will require them calling the bank about they want to hear specifically from the ERO. But then nowadays we can pretty much get most stuff done for our service bureaus and their EROs without having to involve them.
Yeah, and just like you said, you guys kinda know already what we need when we tell you. They're seasonal. Their first season, they just like you, they day 2 of training or whatever, and they really don't know. Sometimes you call them and they don't know. You hang up the phone and talk to the next person, and then they know. If you get someone that's seasoned,
Yeah.
they kinda really know.
Just hang up and call again and hope.
Yeah, just hang up and call. I always tell them, "Just hang up and call the next person."
That's a good strategy.
Awesome, awesome. So looking forward to this year. Obviously, we got the convention coming up. But what are you kind of like the most excited for your service bureau? Like, have you kind of like come up with your goal for this year, like what you're really looking to achieve?
Well, I'm really excited about to see what the elite program is offering to enrich my service bureau. But I'm doing a CRM with a tax academy, so I'm offering more to my software package because like now everybody wants to be a service bureau, right? Everybody wants to be a service bureau, and not only that, the software companies are kind of like, well, not Drake. Drake is so expensive, but I was so stuck on Drake before, but I'm like, man, I was overpaying so many years. But
They
yeah,
just went more. They were more expensive now than they were back then.
I know they go up every year, but yeah. So I'm more excited about add more value to my service bureau, offering my EROs more support, and like pulling away from doing tax returns so I could pour more into them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah. I was actually just talking with someone who she just recently joined our program, and I just having a quick call with her earlier today, and that's exactly her goal. She's like, I'm just tired of dealing with everyone calling me at like 2 a.m. asking where their money's at. It's like all these people who never talk to me all year, and then suddenly you just won't stop lighting up my phone during the season. So that was her big goal too, is like, let's make that transition away from having to run the tax office and just be the software provider. It's a much more relaxing tax season too, when you can kind of sit back and
It is,
and
yeah,
just handle support when it's needed. So
yeah.
awesome, awesome. So one of my last questions for you, and then Baldeep will ask one more for you. But my last question is, if there's someone who's kind of looking at joining Service Bureau Accelerator, right? Maybe there have been, as you said, a lot of people are interested in becoming Service Bureau these days, and there's more options available today as well. But if someone's looking at joining Service Bureau Accelerator, what would you say to them? What would be your comment or suggestion?
I'll tell them it's a great opportunity. I mean, I've actually sent 2 people to join the Service Bureau Accelerator, 2 of my peers that kind of like started with me. And I have one that's on my team now that'll probably be joining next year once I offered her the resale program to help me sell software this year, and next year when she build up her EROs, I'm gonna actually turn over to you guys rather than trying to, gatekeeper to myself. I don't never want to stunt no one's growth. But I would tell them it was a good move, a great move, actually.
Awesome,
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate that. Now, one final thing, and then we'll let you go. Um, so one of the millions of people watching this on YouTube, right? Somebody's going to say, hey, I want to work with Laquesha. How could they find you? Where do they look you up? How do they get in touch?
Well, they can find me on Facebook or they can call me. It's okay to give my cell number?
I'd
A business line.
recommend giving a business number.
Well, like, I don't know about y'all, but my cell number, it started off personal, but it's nothing personal about it. I got my own personal line, but they can reach me at 214-335-8139, or they can find me on Facebook, Laquesha Massey, and we can get it going.
Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks for being here, Laquesha, and we'll see you in a few weeks at the convention.
Okay, thank you.